Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk to you all today about the Nakshatra course, which is approaching this spring. I've taught this course before, and I had a lot of requests from a lot of you to please repeat the course, and I've actually gathered together some more information to share on the course to make the course even more interesting and not like I'm teaching the same old course again. So here we are, and we're ready to do it. And I wanted to tell you about this, especially today, because if you register early for the course, you get a discount of 15% off of the course fee, regardless of whether you pay in full or you pay by trimester. So if you're paying by trimester, each following trimester, you get the reduced fee locked in, right? But the reason that this is so timely is because the deadline for early registration is tonight, Monday, the 11th of December at midnight UK time. So what are we going to talk about on this course? We're going to talk about what the Nakshatras are, what they actually do. Every component of astrology has a function in regards to what it does. The Nakshatras, they determine how we grow things, right? So if a planet's placed in them, it will determine how we're going to grow that planet. So for instance, if you have the seventh lord in Bharani Nakshatra, well, relationships may grow with a lot of difficulty for you, but if you've got a good solid Venus in your horoscope, those difficulties that you go through, you'll feel that they were more worthwhile for the transitions and transformations that they brought, right? That's just an example. In addition, on this course, we're going to talk about two prevalent calculations that are used for determining nakshatra position. Okay, and how it's not necessarily that one of these is better than another, but that each of them is suited for a particular set of calculations, right? So we're going to discuss those two on the course. In addition to that, we're going to talk about all the terminology that's used in describing the nakshatras, like the gunas, Rajasic nakshatras, Sattvic nakshatras, etc. In addition to understanding the animals connected to each nakshatra and why things like that are attributed to it. And we'll go into an in-depth explanation of each of the nakshatras, understanding the symbolism connected with each of them so that you can really grasp what each nakshatra is about and understand the subtleties of each nakshatra, because nakshatras are really very multifaceted. And it depends upon which planets are either in them or influencing them in terms of what aspect of their energy they're going to release, right? And there will be a lot of new information in regards to understanding the nakshatras, basically some extra information from a couple of extra texts that I'm going to share with you. Also, I've been working over the course of this year on developing a base 60 system that can be used to determine planetary strength and therefore nakshatra strength when you understand the dispositor of the nakshatra, and how you can relate the planet's strength when it's in a nakshatra with the nakshatra dispositor's strength, because sometimes you'll have a weak planet in a strong nakshatra or a strong planet in a weak nakshatra. So we'll discuss how to work with that. Another system that I'm using in terms of understanding nakshatra strength is, of course, Shadbala. And we'll discover how to work with that as well. But one of the things that I am most especially excited to share with you on this nakshatra course are the Shayanadi avastas. Now, these determine the condition in which an individual is going to approach a planet during a particular dasha period. And I'm going to take you into Kala software just to share this with you now. Let me make my head a little bit bigger, as if it wasn't big enough already. Sorry, just a little humor. You have to have fun, and you have to kind of poke fun at yourself. Otherwise, life gets boring, right? Okay. if you'll take a look down here at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that Mars here is the Dharakaraka, the indicator of relationships, right? So basically, during this individual's Mars dasha, they're going to be in a Sabayam Shayanati, which means they want to approach things in their life by going after those things, trying to join together with those things, congregating with those things, right? But you might find during another dasha period, I'm just trying to find a good example for us, that during Mercury dasha, for example, in regards to their relationships, they may be dealing with some issues and some changes in regards to their relationship because of being in the Agama Shayanati, which means approaching something because it needs something done with it. Now, these are determined by judging the moon's nakshatra. You take the moon's nakshatra and the Rashi that a particular planet is in, along with some other calculations, in order to determine the Shayanati. And that's why they tend to function as like a bridge between the Rashis and the Nakshatras. So they're very important. And I'm just giving you a brief understanding of these today, but they're much vaster than this. And you can understand a Nakshatra Lord's Shayanati too during a particular time, right? And that takes you to an even deeper level. So for instance, Mars is in Swati Nakshatra. So during the Mercury dasha, because Rahu is Prakashana, the individual may have an awareness of what needs to be dealt with within the relationship. In addition, if you take the Sanskrit letter associated with your first name, it adds these things at the end called drishti, vichesta, and chesta. Vichesta means just a little bit or little strength. Drishti kind of means medium strength in terms of the effects of the Shayanati, and Chesta means full-on strength. So during Mars Dasha, the individual is really going to be wanting to approach relationships. So these give you a lot of interesting information that you couldn't otherwise find anywhere, right? And that's why they're really powerful. And when you add them with the nakshatra interpretation, it takes it to a whole new level, okay? In addition to this, we're going to learn how to use Tarabala in determining the difficulty or ease of a particular Mahadasha or Antardasha cycle, whatever the Dasha cycle may be, how to work with Tarabala in order to interpret the planets that are placed in a particular Tara. And if you're not familiar with Tara, that's related to a planet, or if you're working with house cusps too, a house cusps position from either the moon's nakshatra in relevance to what nakshatra the house cusp is in, or a planet's position in terms of its nakshatra from the moon's nakshatra, okay? We'll also learn how to interpret the nakshatras in the Varga charts and how to put together all the information of working with the Shayanati avastas, planetary strength, and Vimshottari dasha in order to give a really strong interpretation. And one of the most vital things that I think a lot of people are not working with, but it's a really powerful concept, is house cusp nakshatras. Just as planets can be in a nakshatra, a house cusp can be in a nakshatra too. And that takes your interpretation to a whole other level. So these are all things that we're going to be covering on this 44-week course that starts in March. And if you register today before midnight, you get a 15% discount. After that, the fee is going to revert back to its normal fee. So that's going to do it. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about this course. Until next time, people, take the very best care of yourself. Bye now. Trying to find the button. Bye now.